Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Globetrotting for Gossip, the show where we make geopolitics about as entertaining as a root canal. I'm your host Atul Mishra, and today we are going to be delving into the world of politics where every day is like a trip to the dentist. Painful, expensive, and you never quite know what you're going to get. So what's on the menu today? Well, we've got the new Japanese Prime Minister Kishida, who has just taken the reins of a country that's dealing with more crisis than Lindsay Lohan on a bender. We've got the US, where inflation is rising faster than a bread dough in a sauna. We've got Pakistan, which is so messed up right now, it makes the plot of Inception look like a children's book. But wait, there's more. We've got climate change, which is like a slow motion train wreck that nobody wants to watch. We've got India and China, who are locked in a battle for supremacy that makes Game of Thrones look like a game of checkers. We've got Italy and France, who are busy arguing about whose wine is better while their economies crumble like a stale croissant. And that's not all, folks. We've got Russia and Ukraine, who are like two ex-lovers who just can't seem to move on. We've got Putin, who's like a born villain plus the charm. We've got Zelensky, who's like a cartoon character who stumbled into a war zone. We've got Meloni, who's like a female Mussolini with better hair. And let's not forget about Germany, where Olaf Scholz is trying to steer the ship while Merkel is off somewhere knitting sweaters. Oh, and did I mention Swexit? Yeah, that's right. Sweden wants to ditch the EU like a bad one-night stand. But don't worry, folks. We have saved the best for the last. We've got Donald Trump, the man who's like a walking, talking mushroom trip. And of course, we've got Justin Trudeau, the pretty boy Prime Minister of Canada, who is so fake, he makes Kim Kardashian look like a Nobel laureate. So sit back, grab a drink, and prepare to be informed, entertained, and thoroughly disgusted. This is Globetrotting for Gossip, where we take the pulse of the world and find out that it's flatlining. Let's talk about Asia first. Uzbekistan's President Mirziyoyev is on track to be in power till 2040. He is currently sweet 65. In 2040, he will be 82, but he will continue. Maybe he will retire only when they discontinue his blood type. I was at an apparel store recently and they asked during checkout if I wanted to donate to charity. I said, sure. How much should I give? They said it's up to you, so I gave them 10 rupees, which is roughly around 12 cents. Then they said, you sure do have a big heart. I left with a big smile on my face. The passive aggression of the salesman hit me only when I was driving back home. Cheeky bastard. But Japan's Prime Minister Kishida won't get any passive-aggressive African leaders cracking jokes on him. The man is making the Global South the new cool kid staple, pledging $500 million to Africa. Big heart. Go Kishida. Every time friends from the West go to gas station, they go, my patience is waning, is this entertaining? That's because of the inflation, but not so friendly friends from Pakistan go, I hate the rain and sunny weather, and I hate the beach and mountains too, and I don't like a thing about the city, no, and I hate the countryside too. Wherever they go, because Pakistan snatched the fastest inflation crown from Sri Lanka. They're now Asia's inflation royalty, breaking records since 1964. It's a Game of Thrones nobody wants to win, but hey, at least Pakistan is number one in something. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sick of all this climate change talk. It's like, oh, the planet is dying. Yeah, sure. But can we talk about something else for once? There's an interesting development now that might make the biggest climate change denier start following the topic. India and China are teaming up for climate change. What can go wrong? Imagine a discussion over climate change in a makeshift tent near the Indo-Tibet border, where the Chinese come with spiked bats for any surprising developments, and Indians come with 10 Bihar regiment soldiers to quickly twist the necks of tiny Chinese soldiers and dump them in brooks. Nothing can go wrong. India now ranks lower than Afghanistan on the Press Freedom Index. It's so ridiculous that it's almost funny. Press freedom, who writes these unfunny jokes? Let's talk about Europe now. Italy and China are both incredible countries, but they are also very different. In Italy, it's like, hey, let's sit down, have a glass of wine. And in China, it's like, hey, let's sit down and eat a dog. The difference is quite apparent, probably because of this reason or because of Emperor Xi Jinping's new colonialism dreams. Italy's Meloni is considering cancelling the BRI agreement with China. Playing poker is similar to double dealing. When someone else enters the game with a full house, you suddenly doubt your good hand. Generally, the ones with a good poker face win, and Macron has the best poker face on the planet. France has been caught playing both sides in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. It has come to light that France had been secretly supplying defense equipment to Russia. Double-dealing rascal Macron. But anything that hurts Zelensky the Joker is an acceptable behavior for me. So, good job France, I guess. Swexit sounds like a terrible password. Sorry, your password is too weak. You need at least one capital letter, one number, and a special character. Well, the special character is Jimmy Atkinson, the kingmaker who is calling for a Swexit. The EU breakup saga continues. But can we get a little creative? Why Swexit and not Sweeve, a combination of Sweden and leave? We need a catchy name for each country leaving. Swexit, Italy, Portugal, endless possibilities. Donald Trump is like a bad rash for his detractors. You keep scratching, but the rash keeps getting bigger and itchier. Berlin is itching like crazy at the prospect of Trump's return. Hope you remember the epic Trump-Merkel handshake, which was like two magnets repelling each other. The old witch has been replaced by a country bumpkin, but the hatred for Trump has remained the same. Vladimir Putin is like that cool uncle who everyone is afraid of. You know, the one who shows up to family events wearing a leather jacket and sunglasses, and the idea of pissing him off never crosses anyone's mind. But every family has a joker too. In this case, it's Zelensky, who tried to assassinate Putin with drone attacks. Russia is all riled up, proclaiming the real war is just starting. Talk about a plot twist worthy of a Tom Clancy novel. Let's talk about the Middle East now. American interventions are like performing a surgery with a battle axe. It's pointless, destructive, and super messy. Only the axe makers profit. Everyone else loses. This fact is not lost on Iran and Syria, who are teaming up, telling US forces to pack up or face consequences. The US is warning the world of the impending danger. But I guess people have seen through the charade. Make a quick exit, but don't leave the battle axes behind conveniently like you did in Afghanistan. Israel and Gaza, engaging in their annual rocket battle dance-off, have people placing bets on who's going to win this year's edition. We are basically one step away from turning it into a pay-per-view event. Why can't we have a live TV event? It will be even more entertaining than keeping up with the Kardashians, keeping up with the Karbombians, the only reality show where explosions are just part of the script. US is infamous for showing displeasure at the smallest of things. Displeasure is like a low-grade fever. You're not quite sick, but you're definitely not feeling great. It's like, I'm not mad, I'm just mildly annoyed. Well, the US is mildly annoyed because China is building a military base in the UAE despite USA's displeasure. CCP is a loathsome party, but dear President Biden, count your military bases abroad before lecturing others. Let's talk about Canada now. Magic mushrooms are magical indeed. You're just strolling along and suddenly the trees start talking to you. The dogs sing for you. Birds shower gold dust and sexy little patterns dance all around you. You can meet your dead grandma, have one last sex with your ex. The possibilities are endless. And Jagmeet Singh is one cool bastard. He probably is a heavy user. And now he thinks it can be a cure-it-all solution for mental health related issues. Canada is exploring magic mushrooms as a mental health treatment. Who knew that the cure to depression was a trip through Wonderland on tiger back with a thunderbolt in hand and a mermaid waving adios. Justin Trudeau, the pretty boy Prime Minister of Canada, is got great hair, a nice smile and all the charm of a used car salesman. But let's not forget that behind that shiny exterior lies the same old political machine that's been churning out the same old bullshit for centuries. Trudeau is just another cog in the system, and a scamster at that who was about to get stripped naked. But the rascal played his trick. Tucker Carlson's Oh Canada documentary is cancelled, and the Liberal Party of Canada is relieved they won't be exposed by Fox News. They say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but maybe they've never met Tucker Carlson. Well, folks, that's all we've got time for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this trip through the cesspool of geopolitics, where every day is a new reminder that humanity is dying in slow motion. Remember, folks, the world may be a shit show, but at least we can all laugh about it, or cry, or drink ourselves into oblivion, whatever gets you through the night. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, in the immortal words of George Carlin, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. And let me tell you, folks, there are a lot of moments like that in geopolitics. Take care.